What's up? How you doing?
Good. Really good morning.
My morning was a little off because of the kid. I did take the kid to school. We don't live in district, so we can't use the bus system
Mm.
because we use this. We go to my the kids go to the school my wife works at. We don't live in district,
Gotcha. Yeah.
so it's a 10-minute drive. There's basically three cities and three school districts in the Olympia area. Good times. But anyway, yeah, um, I'm loving the streams. Let's just start there.
Yeah.
I
Yeah. It was fun.
from the share side, it's working. I will ask you for that when when you say things will be good plays. Will you point out when they're more of a share or option or both? Um,
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yep.
because I can kind of see it, but sometimes I'm like, man, that looks like a great setup, and it is in the options, but it's not the one for shares. But like Upstart this week, definitely been the one for the share side um,
Oh,
that
yeah, for
that
sure.
that
Yeah.
I've seen. It's had great range. I've only played it once this week, but it's had great range. Um,
Yeah, it gives you those 8-10% moves regularly. It's great.
yeah, I'm trying to sell people on the share side, especially since we've had this just great opportunity that we kind of seen coming of these ER blowups that are just going to basically, well, I can say it now. I think the restriction is off, that are oversold, um, that are going to check back a little bit in the zone. You know, a 60, 40, 60, 70% move down, a 5 to 10% move up is nothing. Um, and we're getting a lot of that right now. Roblox is not Roblox. Which one was it? Rivian, sorry, is up 50% since its bottom. Um, and I think we're going to continue to see a lot of that.
Yeah, and yeah, Rivian, I noticed yesterday when the market was just a disaster and it actually stayed green for a while and then was down less than 1%. I mean, that kind of gives you a sense of the whales have set up a pretty reliable floor on it. Because normally Rivian, their sell off exceeds, you know, everything else that's going on. So things have definitely turned around there.
Yeah, that's where it's good, I think, to kind of know the psychology of a stock, because if you see a stock that normally like goes with the flow of the market and it doesn't, that's usually a good sign. And I think we touched base a little bit about that yesterday. Look at the ones that were going against the grain. Um, and that's just where the opportunity is right now. It's for me, it's a little clearer, right? When there's only so many things that are going against the grain and or in an uptrend, right? There's not a ton of stuff that's you know winning over the last 2 weeks or holding the uptrend. There's not a lot of oxys out there. There just is not.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
So
and we're seeing a pattern right now where a lot of the beaten up growth stocks are giving you these big moves. Like I posted Upwork and Colab, and they're doing that while SPY and QQQ are flat or down, and that's just kind of a good example of why those indices are not really the be all end all to me because so much of like Apple makes up such a big chunk of QQQ that's going to skew what's going on there, but there are still opportunities within tech, and it's these beaten up names: Snow, Twillo, um, Enphase, Dash, and then the cybersecurity as well that are really presenting some of the better day trade opportunities.
the this Upwork chart, like if you look at this chart and just see a downtrend, you need to look a little harder here. This thing every other month has tried to figure out a level. I mean, granted, it's checked down, but we have a solid 2 weeks of uptrend, 2 weeks of uptrend, and maybe that's what's starting here that the professor sees now. But it's going to figure itself out on the way up or down. Whether it's up or down it's gonna like figure itself out. And the less time or history that it's been in that zone, the bigger the range usually is because there is no support or resistance in that zone. Um, and I mean that's what we're seeing with a lot of these is a big range because there is no share distribution in that range. Um,
Yeah, for sure. And it's just the same pattern in the flow over and over again. Where,
I go ahead. Sorry.
well, they'll set a floor input and then start to push it. Mainly June. Like whales are targeting June 17th for a lot of reversals, and this is true. I mean, that's an OPEX day. It's a day for monthly contracts, but it's true also for stocks that have weeklies as well. So it's an indication to me there's enough time out where we could have some more downside, but they fully expect reversals in these stocks of anywhere from 15 to 30% by the time we get to June. Now, I'm not saying to swing them, but I'm saying that they're going to resist the heavy selling pressure that we've been seeing to a greater extent than they have been, into those ER blowups.
Yeah, and I kind of wrote a note down of I don't know when it was obviously after Sunday or I would have said it Sunday. Um, but I think it's good to like kind of understand like what is going on in general, like kind of have an overall thesis of it, not just it's just dying because that's just a bad mindset. But so I put it in a note, like I took some time and I wrote a little note. And my overall thesis, especially on tech, is after years and years of tech, running in a euphoric and growth environment, it's leveled off. Whether it's because of the pandemic or the supply chain or whatever is railing the gains in, and then the negative ERs are the ERs aren't necessarily negative, but the growth is showing that it's stopping and the level off of growth, more growth has already been priced in, like that we were just going to continue to grow, and that is not what the companies are currently doing. They're leveling off, whether for whatever reason it may be. So the market is taking out those years of multipliers that it's put in on these growth stocks because now we do actually know a top. Facebook is probably a good example. Like we kind of know the top end of Facebook, and before Facebook was just unlimited potential. And I think that's kind of the overall what we're seeing, especially in tech.
Yeah, I certainly would agree with that.
But people just like the sky's falling. The sky's falling. No, Netflix finally just kind of reached its maximum, and
Right, right.
the market just thought it was going to continue to grow for the next 10 years, and that's what it was priced at, and that's not the case. And there is other factors, supply chain, COVID, and all that worked in, but that's the tech environment right now, and that's going to create a lot of volatility. So my best suggestion to people would be to find the companies that will continue to grow, that haven't stopped growing right now, um, because if they're getting taxed, if they're getting a big haircut, that's an overreaction. They're just getting included. That's the baby being thrown out with the bathwater. And there's definitely some names in there that fit that description. Um,
Yeah, EV chargers come to mind.
yeah, I agree with that
They're,
as
they're
a sector for sure.
yeah, their whole role within um, daily life, is going to continue to expand, and they're all massively oversold. They have room for go 100% or more in the next couple of years.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll throw some names out there. Just, I mean, you guys know how I feel, but where my fanboy lies, and Square and AMD are kind of like how right now. Like, how are you that price? Same with PayPal. Um,
Oh yeah,
like, those are just like, how are you even remotely that price again? But again, when the growth stops and you're multiplying growth in on a scale of, 5 years or 10 years, when it stops abruptly, that has to be taken out. So another reason the metals and materials are a more, um, less reward, less risk setup. The Oxy's not going to wake up and be $30 tomorrow. That's just not going to happen. Um, so it's kind of how you want to trade. Um, the only reason I'm trading those tech stocks is because they're literally oversold. I can say that word again. Um,
Yeah.
and it um, they just play well. They have momentum throughout the day. There's like no letting up in some of these moves. Like you're getting $7, $8 moves, and it just doesn't stop at all. So, um, yeah, just wanted to put that out there. Did you know about the cold reverse split? I was gonna buy.
No, I did not. I mean, I knew it was a possibility just based on what the price was sitting at right now, but no, I didn't catch that.
It's a friendly reminder to everybody before you're buying, especially if you're a swing trader, because you have time if you're swinging, right? Like you have no excuse if you're swing trading. Um,
Yeah.
read the goddamn news. Because I was gonna do my normal position, just get 1,000 shares next time it was under six, because it just kind of respects that level. It looks like, and take my base hit, and 4-to-1 reverse split. I was like, I think I'll wait. I think I'll wait on that. Um,
Well, Ross just got smashed.
so
I
I
mentioned.
I had that right. Like I had that. I was gonna post that yesterday because I went first thing I did after the Target debacle was go look at earnings for today and tomorrow, and it looked like the contracts were already like $1.50 for Friday.
Yeah.
I'm not going to short shares, so I just kind of walked away from that. But they were already like stupid expensive when I went and looked at them. I believe it was yesterday.
Yeah, everybody piled in after
Yeah,
Walmart Target.
yeah, because there's just no way they're doing good. Ross is like, yeah, if someone's not eating, it's gonna be Ross.
Right, right.
uh, what else did I
So
have? Yeah, go go go.
yeah, so I'm gonna go through a couple of things I'm seeing. Do you ever trade Grab?
No, but I thought about that when I brought up the ADRs today. That was one of the reasons. It wasn't one of the reasons. It was one of the ones in there that I was like, oh, ADRs.
Yeah, just a monster move on this. And I think I'd like maybe casually mentioned it earlier this week. Not
I didn't know
sure.
they had earnings. That's what it was.
Yeah, it was a whale alert. That was what it was. So on the 15th, an alert posted for Grab 3C, and at the time it was $25. And wonder what that is now. Let me look.
It's an 8 million beat on a 200 million. It's like 5% beat.
So yeah, well, I mean that's nothing too crazy on that contract, but yeah, so they were excuse me, a huge day for them, 24%, and they still do have some flow pushing a bit. 6.3, 350 is the latest one they're into, so that might run tomorrow too.
We got volume profile in the year is like $6. So this gets above four, it gets a little juicy. What do you have? Six?
Let me see if I have any
What was your
blowout.
contract? Four or
It's
six?
350 for June, so nothing,
Nah,
nothing.
we're already there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I, if that's it, I'd let this pull back a little bit.
Well, that was just on the dashboard, so let me see what
Okay.
what's the
Okay.
bigger picture.
Oh, I want to make sure I say that too while we're recording.
Yeah, no, not much beyond. I got four
Are
for
leaps
June.
are leaps cheap on this thing?
Oh yeah, the I mean, you're talking like 20, $30 maybe.
Yeah, that might be if you can get like a $4 or $5 elite. Ooh, they got 50 cent contracts. Let's go. That's my.
Yeah.
Let me get out here and like. What's July got me at? Whoa. Yeah, I'll take those fives in July for 15 cents. It's a $30 lotto. Let me look at. Let me look at. Always look at the chart. Oh yeah, see they were five. These things went way up. Let's try to get these for 10. Is this going to be a 5, 10, 15 thing?
Yes.
Okay, damn it.
Yeah.
I hate those.
Oh, I do too. Yeah.
Damn it. It doesn't work with my game well. Oh, yeah. So I wanted to say that too about the market, another market thing. I know fucking they in general. But I think a lot of people are thinking we're going to get like this COVID recovery, like this big V recovery, like we did last time, where it went down in March, came right back and up in April. That shit
Yeah.
is unrealistic. I don't know what you are thinking, but I'm here to tell you you're wrong. um, I'm honestly thinking even if we get like an established floor, we might trade sideways for 6 months.
Yeah.
Easy, easy, like easily 6 months. And then again, I said it probably 3 or 4 times throughout the year. Everything ain't going to get up at the same time. Like some sectors are going to do better than others, and that's where the professor is going to be worth every penny because he kind of catches that in advance. So if he sees
Yeah.
that
That
retail is coming back, or the hotels are coming back, or the planes are coming back, that's going to be the signal after we establish a bottom. But like trying to pick a bottom right now and thinking we're going to get some V recovery is the most foolish thing in the world. Um, you need to wait for it to be oversold, take advantage of the week or two good we get, and then kind of manage your position until you know it's established, and kind of hope for it to fall again.
yeah, no, I completely agree. And like the crypto stocks are pretty good example of that. I mean, coin off of that just, getting crushed off earnings has come back, pretty nicely and now is kind of sitting in this zone. Probably looking to defend 60, but I'd love to get a pullback to 60 and hit that again. I'm not sure if we're gonna get that or not. Kind of just depends on what crypto wants to do. Because we've got like on the daily, it looks like we've got like several. I guess those are dojis, like four in a row.
Yeah, you're finding out. I mean, you're in a,
Yeah,
it's gonna go one way or the other here.
right.
It can't do that for too much longer. What do we have? And that's a trade. I mean, that's a tradable range. Like if you look at this, it's 63 to 70.
Yep.
It's pretty tradable range. I'm on while we're on crypto. The last 2 days, and I mentioned them to you. Why is SDIG not on here? Um, Not SDIG though. But I mentioned to you I think a while ago. But there's like these really shitty ones, um, BTCM and BTCS, and they have both just moved
Mm.
like against the market. Um, and kind of like not in sync with each other. But I've just noticed them like they've led my days, but each of them this week. This 28% was the top stock on my list today, hands
Yeah,
down.
BTCS, their digital currency ecosystem and blockchain technologies. Yeah, and I've mentioned this before. The what I in crypto, I'm really interested in the crypto services stocks
Yeah,
more
yeah,
so than
yeah,
the
yeah,
miners,
yeah.
because I think that's kind of the uh, the corner of that market where there's the most potential to me.
And this BTCM is an ADR as well. Um, but I think SDIG is another one on what you're talking about because they're digital management.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah. They're trying to show some signs of life here.
and I dropped this. God, I don't know how long ago, but this crypto list, but this thing, I'm telling you, it has a mind of its own. It like this whole week, all these have moved up. It's kind of been crazy. Can, which is on the hot list,
Yeah,
just casual all week. It's 4 days. Doot, 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 doot. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't really know how to read that anymore because I used to go off the Bitcoin barometer, and Bitcoin is failing, and these kind of don't want anything to do with it. It seems like anymore. Um, so Catalyst is a little different for me. I mean, I assume with Bitcoin, we wake up, Bitcoin's at 35K. These will fly in general, but um, it's not affected by like the move down like it used to be.
right. Yeah, I completely agree.
I haven't been playing them as much. I like Definitive Catalyst, and
Yeah, I played coin options just off of some call and put triggers, just because it was so beaten down. Uh, kind of switching gears here. The I would expect the bleeding to stop on target fairly soon, and
I didn't get
my
the report.
number that I can give you.
Hold on.
Yeah,
180. Wait, we're past that. Damn it. 130.
130 is the number. Yes. So 617, 130p, 1.4 million bullish premium today against 161,000 bearish premium.
How
So yeah,
bad?
130 is a line in the sand for sure.
I see that totally. How bad was the report? I did not read Target's report. I just assumed.
I have not read it yet. I'm not sure.
I just figured if Walmart gets hit, they're all going, right? I mean,
Yeah, yeah, bad timing for their earnings, because with Walmart dropping 11%, they were pretty much doomed.
I did say that a while ago that the biggest guys will be the last to fall. And we're kind of seeing that here with Apple, Tesla, Walmart, Target. We're kind of seeing that. Amazon, kind of seeing the big boys take the hit now. And it's just part of the process. It's good to see. It's good to see. Um,
Yeah, it is. I mean, Apple's losses today outpaced the indices, and then you had Google drop another 1.47%. Microsoft was kind of flat. So yeah, no, I completely agree with that. And
it had to
Apple,
happen, right? It just had to happen.
yeah, I mean they were kind of the only thing holding the indices up for a long time. So yeah, Apple should be getting towards a floor here. Um, a little hard to read their flow just because there's just so much of it. But
Apple's the conundrum because I mean they're so not profitable, but they can do good on the numbers anytime they want. They can just move
yeah,
stuff around. Like they're really good with that. And um, man, we going back to 125, Professor.
yeah, I could see that.
Um, but I mean
It's
they just seem like they shouldn't really have the big fall.
right, and I think we're at a point, like for shares to DCA into Apple would be perfectly fine around here. I mean, even if it does fall to 125, you're not gonna be underwater very long on it. If you had bought at 170, that'd be kind of bad. But I think that we're in a decent zone.
Yeah, they fit that bill of companies that are going to get taxed that shouldn't get taxed, but they're just getting taxed because the overall market, our sector of growth, is just flattening out, um, and theirs probably won't flatten out. To be honest, like they can continue to grow. Um, yeah,
We got some.
I didn't think 125 would come again.
No, I didn't either. Um, we really nailed Lemonade. That's been so good.
I have played that. I didn't play it today, but I have played that. Um, I should talk a little bit about that too. But yeah,
I
no,
did.
lemonade's perfect, man. If you, I mean, it's that's the play it until it doesn't pay theory, but teens to 20s on this thing, and then 20s probably will confirm. I believe, but the where it's at right now is just real simple. Play it from the teens into the 20s. Um, it works on the share side. I don't know how it works on the option side, but it works marvelously on the share side.
Yeah, it works well in options. The uh, get it, at the money because the out of the money stuff has usually has a spread that's kind of ugly, and you can have a good trade on it. And this is actually what happens to inexperienced people a lot. You'll enter a trade, the stock starts going up, your app is telling you, you're up $50 or something. So you're like, okay, I'm gonna set a stop loss here, and then it'll fill your stop loss at the bid instead of the ask, and you'll actually end up flat or losing on it. So if you're gonna play options on it, you want to try to get a contract where the spread is pretty tight within about $10, and usually like 617 um, 2250 is uh, a dollar 85 or so right now, but the spread on it 175 to 215. So you just have to kind of snipe the mid price and be careful about that. So that's the only caveat with options on it.
Let's see. We're getting real tight in the channel. I'm gonna have to. Well, definitely this weekend we'll pick a higher level out because
Yeah.
it's this is gonna leg up if we don't already have it. Shit, wrong button.
Yeah, I see 24 to 30 in the June contracts.
What's
So
this right here? 24 to 30. Yeah, I got 29 p.
nice.
I got strong on 29. It's not bad on the way there either. It's just yeah, and in general, I was gonna put that in the chat. Someone, well, we said not this Sunday, last Sunday. Let the ER happen. Read the report, and if it's not bad, play the overreaction. And I don't think you can find me one chart that hasn't offered that. That's had an ER. Um, that it wasn't clear. Like, why did they report good, decent, real close to, or mixed numbers and it dropped? Um, not everyone was Walmart where it's like we're having problems. Um, and I think that's still kind of the. I mean, we're going to get out of the really good ER plays, but that's still kind of the. It's better than chasing something with positive news, in my opinion, at this point. It's easier to play the overreaction downside than to play, even to play like Oxy for me. Um,
Yeah.
it's just easier to play those. It's a little. It seems like the risk is less in buying Fubu shares down here um, than buying, let's say, trying to call the bottom on Apple right now.
Right. Right.
It seems a little safer to me, just for what I do, right? So it yeah, it just seems better in
Yeah,
general.
the I kind of see a sustained uptrend taking place pretty soon in quite a few of these basic material stocks. I talked a lot about gold.
Yep.
I think that's going to continue. AA, LAC, X, DLF. Um, all of them are a really nice spot if you have some patience and a plan on them.
Yes. Um, yeah, I like them all. The AUY, AMRS. That's just the A's.
Yeah.
LAC, and a lot of these like AA. That's a good example of a counter of Oxy. Like I didn't want to play this at $80, but I have a line down here at 57. It's 62. That's much more closer to my personal support and resistance, right? Than
Yeah.
trying to play this at $80. So this is back into play for me. Um, AUI
And
I love.
Cenex is the other aluminum stock. That's the cheaper one that
Is
I
that
put on the list.
is that aluminum?
Yeah.
That is, that's the one you were like, it's gonna
Yeah.
go in the long run, right? Like this is more of the best long term play.
Yeah, like it's gonna go like 14, $15.
But was this the long term? There was one you were like, long term, this is gonna just really be. It was either this one. Hold on, I'll find the other one. It's not Frey. Um, it had to be this one. Had to be this one. Yeah, but that yeah, 'cause that's 20. That's 20. You said 14.
Well, that's kind of my kind of shorter term
Okay. Okay.
target on it. But yeah, I'll give you my like long term is like 24,
Yes.
$28.
Yeah, this one. Yeah, it was a 100%er. There you go.
Yeah,
From this
yeah,
one.
I feel to get there.
But that was yeah, that was more like a later in the year type thing. Yes, this was it. Totally.
On
This
the share side in basic materials, other than AUY and EXK, the gold and silver, AMRS and DNMR are definitely ones that will keep giving you opportunities,
I
and
always
those are full stocks.
the DMNR I never I just need to add it to my list. I added it to a list, but not my main list. Because you bring that up every stinking time.
Yeah, yeah, I kind of see that 650 probably going to test that.
Like this one. Is gold just coming up in the flow, or is it the price of gold, or what are you seeing?
Yeah, it's the flow. It's just really picking up. But gold futures were up over 1% today, which is a big jump. Silver up almost 2%. So it's a combination of the two things. But the flow on it anticipated this move in price. So like 3, 4 days ago, I started to see these gold stocks popping up, and we got kind of our first move on them today, and we'll see where they go from here.
I did notice all the silvers. I didn't notice the gold though. And just in the scans, they came up. The EXK, the Gato, and the SLV, I think. SVL. The ones we had
Um,
before.
yeah, SLV is the ETF, but yeah, there's that one. I forgot what it's called.
The EXK and the Gato were
Yeah.
in my scanners. What's the other one? There's one that starts with an S. I don't know.
Let's see.
I got it on the list, but not on here. I cleaned out my main watch list on Thinkorswim just to limit it. I can go look at voice chat. But it's always good to know like the sectors because if you have screeners, like I love this inside bar screener. Um, it's in RTL. You guys should have it. But it just basically shows you things that are consolidating. But if he's calling a sector and you can find something in the sector, it's usually a good sign.
Yeah, and there's always ones that are good for options, and then for shares.
Shares, yeah.
But even the small cap shares, you can play options. I go like 2 months out with it and spend about between 30 and 50 per contract. They have those $5 increments, which are a pain, but when you're swinging it, doesn't really matter that much if you're taking it from $35 to $55 or something like that. So, but not great for weeklies on those small caps.
Did you play BJ's?
No, I did not.
Oh, because they had a decent report, but they got smacked off of everyone else getting smacked. What about
Yeah.
Coles?
No, they weren't really on my radar.
We're just looking at this screener. Interesting. There's roast.
Good day for the hot list overall.
Good. What do you day? Week.
Yeah.
What I noticed, I think we it kind of I don't know how to say it because I don't want people to just like buy the red stuff, but there's almost like a rotation inside of the hot list. Like you can tell when something's cooling off, and it's usually up top the next day. Um, it's been really consistent, I guess. Everything on it has like delivered at some point in the week. Nothing has just like totally failed. Um, Last 2 weeks have been like that. I'm kind of, I don't know, a little impressed with having a list of such a big list. Not definitely wasn't my intention when we started, but it actually working. Um, it's great. I love it.
Yes, skills finally gave me a decent move.
Yeah,
I had added that in like the 160s. We're up to 195.
190. Yeah, it's a great trade. That's a great trade in itself, right there. Your bars are getting bigger too. That means it's getting liquid. I like it. Um, I guess if there's been some duds, it's been like HYMC.
Yeah.
But a lot of it gets unmentioned. Like I don't think we've mentioned Zillow all week, and it's had a tremendous week. Tremendous.
It has. Yeah, I was trading Redfin in real estate, but yeah, Z's been good.
Um,
It's just ridiculously oversold down here.
you brought up LAC finally today, but another one just had a great week. Just a great like things kind of going against trend, and we have a lot of it on here. Um, or just the ones that are going to be active, like your AFRMs and your um, Lemonade this week. Um,
Yeah,
ADC.
I put LAC and AA out on Twitter. One of the options trader asked for the my whatever the best long setups for the week were. So I kind of threw those out there.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. I think if you are struggling, you just take five of these, um, kind of assess them every day. Like pick your spot where you want to trade, the top end where you can get your percentage. Make sure that's in a feasible range. Um, Pick two of them to kind of eyeball by the start of the market open, and tune into the professor's chat. Maybe grab one of his that he says is a high probability for the day. And other than that, just focus on those three. And if it don't, and just try that for a week. It might only be 15 trades, but it'll let you know where you're making your mistakes at. That's for sure. Because when you stay kind of inside of a box, um, it's easier to correct whatever's going wrong. Um, if you're just out there buying into this and buying into that because it's on the list, probably not going to be too successful. I always stress kind of knowing who you're following, especially if it's an alert service or whatever. Not that we're that, but you got to still know like how we trade. And both me and Professor are pretty adamant about taking some sort of percentage off the table at the 10% range. If it's even a little lower for me, because it's on the share side, but it's obviously before it goes to the moon, and it's repeating the process that makes us profitable. And um, yeah, so if this ain't working for you right now, especially since I see this happening for the next 6 months, kind of need to tighten it down and take one trade at a time so we can get you into our style, for the lack of better terms. Um,
Yeah, like on net today, I had five contracts and I the market looked like a little shaky just in the indices. I didn't really know that that stock and DDOG and some others were going to just not care about that. But so at the time, like I took profits at it was like $30 a contract, and I sold four of them, and then the last one I just put the stop at entry, and I made 120 on that one. But I mean, there was no certainty that that would happen, and so I was perfectly fine to just take the profit on the four quickly. And if you only have one, you've got to just take the profit, right away. I mean, it's disheartening to be up on something and then in options, one candle will take you out of it. So, just stack up the small wins, especially as you're learning.
Yeah, and on my side, especially when I'm in a full position, 5, 6 cents on a share is 50, 60 bucks. Um, so to if it's lagging, not taking that 50, 60 bucks and my stop loss of 100 or 50 or $150 getting hit, it's just not really worth a gamble. So like knowing to close lagging trades or at least have your stop loss at entry um, is key in this market because you're not going to hit. Well, yeah, let's just walk that. We're not going to catch every move off the hot list. We're not going to catch every top of every trade we enter, and we're not going to nail every entry. Um, so managing the ones you don't right now is more important than managing the ones that you win in. As long as you're mindful of taking profits right now, and especially early when they're offered, and just re-entering trades when the setup is there, you're gonna be fine. Um, if you kind of like stay in the water too long and let the market guide you, you really don't know where you'll end up. You could end up back where you were. You could end up a little bit lower than you were before. Um, so the setup is again most important, and you can't catch them all. You just got to kind of focus on the ones that are available that you see, and that's why I preach pick a spot, pick a level, and just trade off that level. Just set an alert, and when it comes, analyze the chart, analyze the news, ask for a flow read if it's on the share side, and yeah, it just really pick your spots right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think like when you look at something like Upstart, what tends to happen is you'll get out of it on the way up, and then it'll keep going, and there's this temptation. Oh, I'm going to jump back into this, but you're not jumping back in at a good entry. You had a good entry on the trade you just exited, so just wait it out. It'll come back down. You can trade it again. You don't have to catch the full extent of that one move.
Yeah, Upstart is like a $2 or $3 for me. When I played it, it moves a dollar, $2 or $3, and I'm out. That's
Yeah,
it. It's just a it. I don't like say it's free money, but it's smart money, right? It keeps the risk low when you just have a lot of buying throughout a good day, and it might have an $8 move, but I don't want to babysit the whole thing. Just take my percentage and run. And for me right now, it's more about managing sizing, right? Like the risk reward. Like if I don't trust it, but I want to play it, like I got to go 250 on the shares, right? I can't put a whole thousand in or whatnot, or 25 instead of 100. Um,
yeah,
that's the math I'm doing a lot of the times because that's the best risk. Of if you're full position and lose 500 bucks, your quarter position's only 125. So the stuff that's more risky, just keep it a little smaller than what you're used to. Um, and again have a target in mind, especially when they're offered. Like, yeah, I haven't full positioned this, but I've again taken my $2 or $3 out of it a few times. Um,
yeah,
Part of it for me is I'm not used to playing some of these. I'm not familiar with them, so I mean, why play with fire? I guess, right? Like, I don't know. I don't know. It's like the Oxy thing. Like you nail Oxy every day and it seems real easy, but someone that's just starting to trade Oxy, it's probably a little more difficult
right. Yeah, for sure.
because you don't have the tendencies down through the history of the actual trade. You don't know what the signals are to get out of it and whatnot. Because it's just a rinse and repeat. It's not like you're holding on for dear life and it's going to $100. Um,
Yeah, I've
what
got a I got one more for you.
Me
What
too.
do you think of Kodak?
I've been waiting for that. I like it.
Yeah, I'm back
460.
into Kodak.
460. Look at that, P. Right
Yep.
on the money.
I
460,
just looked at that
725.
last night.
I thought about this after the ER. That's where I caught it at, and I just figured you would say something eventually. Um,
Yeah, yeah, I'm kind of at that moment.
and I'm still with that. If you guys like want to do your own shit, go find something that has ER. Let it go through ER. If it drops 10, 25, 50%, read the ER. If the numbers
Yeah.
aren't bad, buy it. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, it's that easy right now. It really is that easy. It's
That's
really that
Ross right
easy.
now. I don't know if you looked at Ross after hours, but same thing.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
too easy, man. It's too especially oh, those are the best ones. The ones that are got like the pre-dip, like the 3 days before they dip, and then they get a good ER. Oh, those are the best right now. Because yeah, it's just the market is so overreactionary to the South currently, um, and I guess it should be, but I not everything is going to be negative. There will be a positive. There'll be a one nice flower in the sea of weeds, and you just got to find it. So, um, so you got caught at MP. What's up with M? Scaring me.
Oh yeah. So M, I like the flow on M. It's looking to kind of get back into that channel of 22 to
Five.
28. And so right now a lot of the flow is pushing it towards that 22 level. I don't know how it's going to react to Ross. It's not really down. It's only down 0.83% after hours, so no immediate reaction to that. But yeah, M was kind of unfairly punished by all of this.
And we
But I
have
don't know what their
ER
earnings are going to do. They have
ER next
earnings,
week,
yeah, next week.
Thursday, I believe. Yeah, yeah. I'll be high
So that
alert.
an interesting run up and aftermath, especially if it fails.
Yeah, if this gets down to 15, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm just, I mean, 100%. Um, yeah. All right. We're running a little long here. Tomorrow, anything? I'm on ADRs for sure.
Uh, yeah, I gotta dig in the flow a bit. I'm probably back onto D-Dog and Nets. Gonna look into oil and Carvana for me.
I like it. I like it. Yeah, I like the ADRs tomorrow, and then I'm assuming we'll get the usual red box, and it's either been red box, um, BBIG, or ATER. Like two of those three are always in rotation on the socials, and then on the share side, I just like continuation. A lot of the stuff that checked today, like Rivian, Lucid, I think we're going to continue the trend. If you had a strong week that didn't go with the market, I think we'll continue the trend. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
so that's kind of what I'm seeing. So yeah, probably fast again. I don't know if you've noticed the volume kind of died last Wednesday and today a little bit. It died a little sooner than it did Monday, Tuesday. Um, but no selling in the after hours, so or in the late part of the day. That's kind of hasn't been as dramatic this week. So um,
Yeah, it's not giving it all back, so that's a
yeah,
good sign.
yeah. I said it in chat. I'm hoping for 6 months like this, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Um, all right. Yep. Well, thank you, P, for the time. Thank you everyone for showing up. Any questions? Hit me up, chat, DM, or whatever. I'll probably hang out here for a little bit. But yeah, thanks for coming, everybody. Have a good evening.
Yep. Take care.